You're welcome to today's episode of Chilling with the Doctors. I'm so excited to finally bring you this recipe. We're going to be talking about how to make Tom Brown. Now, why does this come in highly recommended? First of all, it is very nutritious. It consists of high quality carbohydrates, protein, minerals, vitamins, and healthy fats. And then secondly, if you're somebody that wants to make sure that you don't spend all you earn, this is highly cost effective compared to what you're going to be buying in the supermarket. And thirdly, for me, this was the very important reason why I gave this to my own children, was the fact that I am now very concerned about what my children eat. I don't want them to eat ingredients that I can't pronounce, and this is one recipe that has only 4 ingredients, so you are sure of what your baby is eating to ensure that they eat something healthy. Now, if you've finished having children and you're watching this video, this is something you can teach women in your locality, in your church, in your village, in your just local community, because it's highly nutritious and cost effective and will help the fight against malnutrition. So these are the ingredients. So you wash the guinea corn or whatever grain you choose to use. It's better that you always choose one grain at a time. It's either you decide to use guinea corn or yellow corn. Why we say yellow corn is like yellow corn is more nutritious, or you decide to use millets. It is not advisable for you to mix these grains together. Just use one grain. Wash it carefully. I prefer to use the sieve because all the sand then can easily seep through it. All the dust can go through it. If you see any bad ones, just go ahead and remove them as at that time. So you see, we're making it at home and ensuring that we are making this hygienically. Once you're done with that, you put it on an oven tray. I'll tell you why I put it on my oven tray as we watch the video. This is beautiful. So the next thing you're going to do now is to wash the soybean. One of the reasons why I like to make all these things at home is that there's an essential ingredient that you're going to be adding, which is that ingredient of motherly love. You can't buy it in the supermarket. You can't just buy that in the supermarket. So you wash the soya beans too. You wash it carefully. Before you do that, you also pick those ones that are not good. You also keep it to dry. Now, if you're living in an environment where there is no sunlight, you can easily dry your grains over your stovetop. I like to do this when maybe it's the rainy season or the weather outside is very humid. Like the time of this recording, the weather was very humid. It wasn't going to dry it, and you don't want mold to start growing on it. So I immediately just dried it on my stovetop, ensuring that I was stirring it frequently to ensure that it just dries, and then put aside to cool. When this has happened, you now put them into a heavy bottomed pot. I like to use those pots, you know those pots that they give us during our weddings, those very thick stainless steel pots. You put it on it, you put it inside, and then you toss it. When you put it inside, you toss it. You don't leave it alone. You ensure that you keep on stirring and stirring so that all the grains get the heat evenly, and then they dry. You will notice that as you're doing this, some of them will actually pop. So if you look at this place, there are some white ones. Those are the ones that popped in the process. You just want a few. You don't want it all to pop. Remember that we are not making popcorn here. Okay, then the next thing is to now toast the soybeans. So we put the soybean also in that heavy bottom pan, and we toss and toss. The color of the soya bean when you make it will depend on how long you toasted it. I usually toast it for less than 5 minutes. I don't want it to be too dark so that the taste is not heavy. But that depends on you. If you're somebody that is used to soya bean and you like your soya bean being well toasted, then you can toast it a little longer. So you just keep on toasting it. Remember that you would have already kept this to dry, just as you did with the guinea corn. And if also you didn't have sunlight, you can also still dry it on your stovetop before you bring it over here to toast it. So you just toast it till it goes back, it shrinks back to the original size, and you see some of them may actually even crack. Then the next thing is to ensure that you keep this in a dry place to cool down, and then you put the crayfish into this your heavy bottom pan. The crayfish is a very rich source of protein. This is very good food. You have high quality carbohydrate, high quality protein, and crayfish also has zinc and a lot of minerals that are good for your baby. You don't need to fry this for more than 1 to 2 minutes. Then you allow all of them to cool down. Now, if you have a high powered blender, you can blend this at home, or you can take it to those people that grind plantain and give it to them to grind. Make sure it cools down once you're done, and then you keep it in a dry container. Now, to make it, this is actually very thirsty. You can see all the drying and toasting that we did. So you put it in your saucepan and then put some warm water and ensure you stir continuously. Ensure everything is stirred. It's going to absorb that water, so you don't want to leave the pan. You keep on stirring until it thickens. This takes less than 3 minutes really. So just when it thickens and you're seeing it's not yet done, at the end you'll see how you know that it is done. You just keep on adding little water at a time and stirring this carefully. When it begins to thicken, then you know that it is getting done. So this is just about 2.5 tablespoons that I put in here. So you see that this your ingredients is going to last and last and last. This is very cost effective. So as a wise parent, you don't want to be spending all your income buying factory processed foods. You want to ensure your baby is eating healthy without breaking the bank.